Hi guys, welcome to Irish Footy Vlogs, the only Irish channel that does a matchday vlog weekly. Now, I say that, but unfortunately we know what's going on at the moment with the virus, etc. That, there's no matchday vlogs for a while. That's very unfortunate. I was going to do a video about it, but there's no point. I just thought I'd mention in this video. We all know what's going on. There's no point going into depth about it. Hopefully we're back as soon as possible. But today's video, I'm going to be talking about 10 players that have impressed me so far from what I've seen this season in the league. And first of all, I have a new logo. You can see it on the screen there. It was designed by WM Design, so shout out to him and thanks very much. I think it's a very nice logo. The other logo wasn't bad, by the way, but I really like this logo personally. I'll just put up his Instagram as well, so you can see it. You should check him out on Instagram. He does a lot of great work. So thanks thanks WM Design for that, and we'll get straight into the video. There's no order to this list, 10 players, but there's no order. I'm not doing a 1 to 10 as such, but we'll talk about Liam Scales. He's one of the players in this list. 5 appearances this season, 3 starts, 2 substitute appearances. I think he's made an impressive start for Shamrock Rovers this season. I always liked him. I've seen him playing for the Irish under-21s, very good on the ball. Struggled a bit with UCD because he was isolated, to be honest. A very good ball playing defender, has a wicked left foot. Pressed when he came on against Bohemians in a match that he battled well in, where it was difficult to play football. He came on against Cork for Joey O'Brien, both times actually, against Bows as well. But the games he started in, he's been very impressive, including a performance against Dundalk where he was very good. He was also very good against Sligo Rovers, more or less creating one of the goals for McAniff through a deep pass into Dylan Watts, who laid it off to McAniff. He opened it up. He can open things up through the lines. He can find players through the lines. And for a defender who's deep, that can be a big weapon when your central midfielders are being well marshalled and are finding it difficult maybe to get on the ball. Often the central defender will have more space on the ball as well than a central midfielder. So in terms of Liam Scales, the fact that he can get his head up and find those passes through the lines, and one of the reasons why Jack Byrne's probably playing higher up the pitch, we'll get to him later. But for me, Liam Scales as one of the players that started very well this season. As I've just mentioned him, I'll talk about Jack Byrne, number 2. He's another player who's impressed so far this season. We all know how good he is on the ball, etc, etc. But one thing I've noticed with Jack Byrne this season so far is that he's getting the ball higher up the field. As a result, he scored 3 goals in 5 games, and he can create things. He's more or less playing as a number 10. Now, he does drop deep, but he's more or less playing as a number 10. I think a lot of the reason is because Liam Scales is in the team, if I'm honest, as well. But, yeah, he's getting shots away, he's scoring goals. He scored a goal in the box against Sligo where he picked it up. Okay, he wasn't tracked, but, he still finished well. He scored a brilliant winner against Dundalk as well, and he's playing some good stuff. He's doing a lot of damage higher up the pitch. So that's been a big help to Shamrock Rovers. And every time you see Jack Byrne play, I think even if you're a Bowls fan, you mightn't admit it, but he's a joy to watch, let's be honest. Low centre of gravity, very difficult to push off the ball. Head up, picks out passes, executes them. Top player, started this season very, very well. The third player on my list is Chris Twardick of Bohemians, and this is an interesting one because Chris Twardick didn't really impress at Sligo last season. Most fans will tell you that, and any time you've seen Sligo, you wouldn't have thought much of him, if I'm honest with you. But this season, very impressive on the right hand side for Bohemians. 5 appearances, 1 goal, a couple of assists. He's, I was going to say an old-fashioned winger, but in the sense of he's almost like a right midfielder than a winger. He wouldn't be the fastest player in the world. He wouldn't beat players as such and have brilliant skill where he take on players one-on-one. What he does is he gets the ball, and as soon as he's a space, he gets across, tries to get across into the box. So he's a good delivery on him. He does have an eye for a goal as well, and he's quite strong. Even though he looks skinny, essentially, he's quite strong. His direct running as well is another thing as well that he's very, very good at as well. Um, Reminds me of an old-fashioned getting to the byline type winger as such, as opposed to someone who's going to beat players and show a bit of skill and that kind of thing. But he's been very good and very consistent for Bows in their first 5 games this season, and I think he deserves to be on this list, mainly because he's impressed me when I've seen him play, so he has to be on my list. The other player on my list, number 4, is Gary Deegan Shelburne. I think Gary Deegan has done well for Shelburne in the games I've seen him play this season. Scored a cracker of a goal against Dundalk, but that's not really his game as such. He gets around the midfield, harries, hustles, gets tackles in, but I think his leadership skills has really brought on the rest of the Shelburne team at times as well. Even if he's not playing brilliantly sometimes, he can be a bit rash, and he plays on the borderline, you know, of getting sent off at times, to be honest with you, but you can't take that away from his game. As I said, he performs in a sense of he breaks up attacks, gets attacks going, and shows real leadership. And I think he has improved a lot of players around him, which is why he's on my list, more so than his ability. Now, I'm not saying he's a bad player, obviously, but he's not like a Jack Byrne where he's going to get in the ball really and dictate things. But I think it's the whole influence he's had on that Shelburne team that's impressed me so far this season. Now we're at number 5 now, and this player is a left back that came from Manchester City to Waterford FC, which caught my eye, Tyrek Wilson. I seen him play against St. Pat's, and he was very impressive for me. He's got a good delivery. He's a modern type full back where he gets forward, gets back, a lot of tireless running. Small in stature. He's quite small, so defensively in the air, he might be weak in those terms, but offers an attacking threat to Waterford. Can get a tackle in as well, mind you, as well. Really supports the play. Likes to whip in an early cross as well. Unfortunately, Waterford maybe haven't really taken advantage of that yet, but that's not his fault. And he made an impressive start to this season as well, and I think he's been an impressive signing for Waterford, quite frankly. Number 6, I think it is at this stage. Yeah, Chris Forrester, St. Patrick's Athletic. There's a couple of players I could have put on this list, I suppose, from Pat's. Another one anyway, I'll get into later on. But I think we've seen signs of Chris Forrester coming back to his best. If anyone's seen him play in the Irish League of Ireland a few years ago, before he went to England, they'd know how good he is. And check it. If you haven't seen it, go to YouTube. Chris Forrester versus Drogheda. Chris Forrester versus Shamrock Rovers. Some fantastic goals he scored in those games. But we've seen signs from him this season. He didn't start the first game of the season against Watford. He came on as a sub, and in my opinion, obviously with the help of others, but he changed the game. And I know Waterford won the game, but he changed the pattern of the game. He's inventive. He likes to get in the ball. He has a cracking long shot, and I'm dangerous from set pieces in terms of taking the set pieces. And he's just quality. He's a good technician as well. So we've seen signs of him back to his best season, which is great to see. He scored a goal as well against Sligo, and only for a few good saves for other keepers, he would have scored more goals as well. So the only thing is at times Pats are maybe reliant on him, which is a problem. But it's great to see Chris Forrester playing football again, if I'm honest with you, after some problems last season. Now, number 7 with Stephen Mallon. Stephen Mallon, I made a video of 10 players, young players to watch this season. Mallon was on the list, and he started off very well for Derry, who haven't started off very well. 4 appearances, 2 goals for Stephen Mallon against Waterford and against Bohemians. The Bohemians goal's a cracker as well. He's a winger. And I talked about Twardick earlier on, completely different winger. He's more of a mazy dribbler. He's got pace, he's got a wicked left foot, and he'll score goals. He's got 2 already this season. You can see him score more goals as the season goes on, whenever we start again, hopefully. But mazy dribbler, cuts into the box, time in a run's very good as well, and an impressive start for his Derry career for Stephen Mallon. Now, number 8 of Niall Morahan of Sligo. Sligo have had a horrendous start, to be honest. And one of the reasons is it had a lot of injuries in defence. Niall Morahan's a midfielder by trade. Started the season in midfield. but reverted to right back because of injuries, and the likes of Lewis Banks, who's a very good player, is out injured for Sligo. He's only 19. He's 4 appearances, 1 goal. I was impressed when he played right back against Shamrock Rovers, actually, particularly when it's not his position. He was coming up against a very good player, Neil Ferrugia, who nearly made this list, by the way, as well. And maybe one of the reasons why he didn't make this list is Niall Morahan, because Niall Morahan did a great job on him against Shamrock Rovers. But at the same time, he didn't just defend and say, right, I'm going to watch him one-on-one and not attack. He still played his game. So to be able to play your game and look after Ferrugia, I thought was impressive. Ended up getting a goal late on, a very good goal, 1-2, and he scored with his left-footed curler with his left foot into the back of the net. I still think his best position is midfield, but you can clearly see a player has ability in this league that can play in multiple positions often, and he probably could be one of the best right-backs in the league, but with Lewis Banks and that Sligo, I would definitely play him in the centre midfield if they got Banks back, you know. But very impressed with him. Keep an eye on him as well. Now, at number 9, I have Greg Sloggett of Dundalk. He played with Derry City last season. Scored 1 goal this season for Dundalk. 5 appearances. He slotted into their midfield brilliantly. Dundalk fans were wondering how maybe they would replace Benson. But Sloggett's been excellent. He's probably been better than Shields this season. Powerful, strong runner. He can get round the field. Gets up and down. He's a typical old-fashioned midfielder, and where he does a bit of everything. He can get forward, he can score, he can defend, he can track back, obviously, he can get on the ball a bit as well, but he also gets around the field and, you know, covers great ground, and I think he's had a very impressive, he's powerful, so he's a big guy, but he's also athletic, so top signing by Dundalk, I think, to be honest, and very good start to the season for Craig Sloggett. Now, number 10, I went for Pat Hooban. Pat Hooban scored a record-breaking, 7 goals 2 seasons ago. Only scored 13-14 goals last season. 5 out of 5 so far this season. This break, though, you know what I mean, the momentum of some of these players you'd wonder, especially for a striker, could be broken. But, you know, I can only say what I've seen so far, and he scored 5 goals in 5 games, including a penalty. But it's his all-round play, his link-up play, and you think he's doing nothing. He's one of those strikers. He reminds me a bit of, I don't know if anyone would have, the younger viewers might know, but Gagan from Shelburne a few years ago now in the 90s. You think you have his number, but all of a sudden he pops up with a goal. And Pat Hooban is exactly the same. You know, good in the air, left foot, good right foot, and tends to be in the right place at the right time to take those chances. And ultimately, when you're a team, you can do a lot of good work, but if you don't have someone to take those chances, it can be irrelevant. And that's what Pat Hooban does for Dundalk, and I think he's had an impressive start to this season. There are the 10 players. There's probably 3 more that really, for me, could have made the list and were very close to making the list and are just on the boundaries of the list. That'd be Danny Mandreo of Bohemians, Billy King of St. Patrick's Athletic, and Neil Ferrugia, actually, of Shamrock Rovers. They just about miss out, but all have had very good starts to the season. You know, Mandreo is a wonderful player to watch, to be fair. 5 appearances, 3 goals against Sligo, Shells and Waterford from the penalty spot. But very, very good player. As we all know, very nice to watch, pleasing on the eye. Billy King has been very good. Pat's best signing so far. Small winger, but creates opportunities, creates openings, plays between the lines, scored a cracking of a winner against Cork City. And Neil Ferrugia, probably just about missed out because of, I mentioned earlier, Niall Morahan kept him out a little bit against Shamrock Rovers. But Ferrugia, big guy. He's a big guy. Great left foot. The only thing he needs to do, I think, is add more goals to his game. If he gets that, he's going to be a top winger in this league, in which I'm sure he will, to be honest. So that's about it, guys. That's that video up. I have a couple of more ideas for videos coming up. We don't know when the league's going to start back again. If there's any videos anyone wants to see, I'm open to ideas as well. Is there anyone who's impressed you so far this season? Particularly, you know, you might be a Waterford or Sligo. a Derry City fan, whoever you are, and you'd see these teams play a bit more often. So who's been the best player for your club basically so far this season in your opinion? So that's about it, guys. I've nothing else to do. I'm going to have a few drinks. So see you later and enjoy. Thanks for watching and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you. Goodbye.